Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Moonlight Theater. Tonight we're continuing our Halloween-a-thon, so I hope you've all began to enjoy your fall and have been partaking in some Halloween delights, because Moonlight Theater has you covered with our next Halloween movie recommendation. So tonight, we're looking at a film about a creature that's hideous, a creature that's hungry, and a creature that's on the loose. Tonight we're looking at Stuart Gordon's Castle Freak from 1995. Now, right off the bat, something I love about this movie is the title. It really tells you everything you need to know about the movie. It's set in a castle, and one can safely assume that there's a freak in the castle. And this film delivers on that freak, 100%. The story of the film is loosely based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft called The Outsider. Many regard this as one of his best works, and it's a really good read, so I highly recommend you checking that out. If you need something to put on your reading list, I highly recommend. The plot of this film centers around an American family that inherits an Italian castle when one of their relatives passes away.
Ecco, Castello di Orsino.
What does it look like?
It's up on a hill back, just like in a fairy tale. You know, when I got your letter, Mr. Giannetti, I thought it was a scam.
Scam?
Well, it's just hard to believe I've actually inherited a castle.
From the opening sequence, we get a little look at that distant relative and what life in the castle was like. And if that's not living in luxury, I don't know what is. The film also stars Jeffrey Combs as the father. You might recognize him as Herbert West from Reanimator. Also returning from Reanimator is Barbara Crampton, who plays the wife in this film, and they all make a little happy family. So they, with their blind daughter, head to Italy to check out the castle and all the things they inherited. The castle is a great setting for this film. The castle used in this movie was actually owned by one of the producers. He just bought a castle years earlier, and they filmed several movies there, and they just used this one again. And one really cool thing is that to save money on budget, they just put the crew and the cast up in the castles. They got to live and eat in the castle, sleep there. They even used the castle kitchen. It was a fully functioning castle that you could live in, which is pretty awesome. Staying in a castle in Italy for a few months. That's pretty awesome. The castle itself lends a lot to the film. As soon as the family begins to arrive and explore the castle, you get a very unsettling feeling. It has a lot of dark shadows, strange paintings. It's a very gothic type castle, very old, and has a lot of secret rooms.
Mr. Giannetti?
Yes?
How soon can you liquidate the assets of the estate?
Oh, you want to sell?
Yes, everything, as soon as possible. How much is the estate worth?
And when you're watching them move through the castle, you feel like something can jump out at them at any time. It builds a lot of tension, especially from the title that you know there's a freak in this castle somewhere. It really sets the mood. And this castle is so large that nobody had any idea that the Duchess had a freak chained up in the basement.
Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Not just you stupid cat. Anybody there? Come here, here, kitty. Come out of there, kitty. Come here, kitty. Daddy? Rebecca! Kitty, come on, I gotta go.
Rebecca!
Come here, Daddy.
So the family decides to stay there and kind of wait till all the assets get liquidated, so they settle into the castle. It's not long after that that the freak breaks free and begins to roam the castle. I like this sequence in a really disturbing way where the freak bites his own thumbs off to get the shackles loose. It's horrifying, but it shows that this creature will go great lengths to kind of break free from his chains. The freak itself is horribly disfigured and was locked down there by the Duchess and tortured for years. It turns out that that was the Duchess's son, but the father had left her, so she took it out on the son by just torturing him for years and years and years until he's a horribly disfigured freak.
Why are you telling me this?
Some in town. They also say that late at night when the streets are quiet, you can hear Giorgio crying.
Child crying.
They say the castle is haunted.
And this thing is terrifying and has a very strange fascination with the opposite sex.
Who's there? Who are you? I know you're there.
From the moment the freak breaks free, the film switches gears and you're on the edge of your seat the whole time waiting to see when he's going to come out next. And the family themselves also have some issues. Years before, the father, in a drunk driving accident, killed their only son and blinded the daughter when shards of glass went into her eye from the accident. And this creates a lot of tension between the husband and the wife, and those wounds aren't really healed yet.
I told your mother that I would pick you up and I would have you home for dinner.
We're already late.
How you doing back there, JJ?
JJ! 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 No! No!
And unfortunately, John still turns to drinking to kind of deal with his problems. He ends up going out to a bar in Italy and meeting this prostitute who doesn't speak any English and bringing her back to the castle.
The international language, huh? No, I'm sorry, I don't smoke. Sorry. But, can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you a drink?
Uh-huh.
Joe! Give the lady whatever she wants.
Vino rosso, grazie.
You heard it.
And while they get down to business in the wine cellar, the freak ends up peeping in on the action. Yeah. Now, how can I put this? The freak has been in isolation his whole life. It had no contact with others except for the Duchess, who would just whip the hell out of him. It has a very impressionable mind, kind of like a child. So it has kind of the mind of a 5-year-old, but the cannibalistic tendencies of a freak. So with this impressionable mind, it learns from what it sees, and it tries to mimic what actions it sees from others. And it happens to see what John is doing to the working gal, and it also happens to be a cannibalistic freak. And I think you all know where this is going. But I'm gonna let the great Joe Bob Briggs finish this one for me.
Chowing down on the vagina of Sylvana in an all too literal fetishistic interpretation of the locker room phrase, eat pussy. He is indeed devouring her pussy.
Honestly, this is one of the most brutal and grotesque kills in all of horror, in my opinion. This is fucked up. And this is just horrible because she was just an innocent bystander, but she gets it worst out of everyone in the whole film. This was her one and only acting role, and I mean, I don't blame her for quitting acting after this film. I don't know how you bounce back from that. The freak is on the loose. It wants women, it wants to eat, and it wants to, you know, it wants some action. Let's just say that, okay? This film does a great job of telling a really good story with a lot of twists and turns.
There was a picture right there of a little boy who looked like JJ.
John.
No, I swear, he looked exactly like JJ. It was right there.
And it will constantly keep you creeped out and on the edge of your seat, hoping that these characters make it out alive, because nobody deserves to die by the freak. It's just, nobody does. Nobody deserves that. And when all the plot points come together, it all culminates to a one big final chase, and it does not disappoint. And the ending is pretty surprising too, so highly recommend checking this one out. This one gets the Moonlight Theater highly recommended Halloween film. It delivers on everything it promises. It's got a lot of gore, there's a lot of castle, there's a whole lot of freak. So if you decide to check it out, just don't watch it alone. Yeah, I actually, probably watch this one alone because there's a lot of weird shit in this movie. Until next time!